各位记者朋友
Friends from the media, good afternoon. Welcome to today's news press conference. The floor is now open for questions.
This year marks the 10th anniversary of the entry into force of the Arms Trade Treaty. The 10th Conference of States Parties to the ATT is being held in Geneva, and China sent a delegation. Could you share more details? The Arms Trade Treaty is the sole legal instrument under the framework of the UN to regulate the international trade in conventional arms. The treaty is of significance to keeping the world peaceful and stable and improving global security governance. China supports and implements the ATT. It takes a prudent and responsible attitude on arms trade, and relevant practices fully meet or even exceed the bar set by the treaty. In particular, China only engages with sovereign states on arms trade and cooperation and doesn't sell arms to non-state actors. China strictly follows the three principles of arms exports. First, conducive to the legitimate self-defense capability of the recipient country. Second, not undermining peace, security, and stability of the region and the world. Third, non-interference in the internal affairs of the recipient country. In contrast to individual countries who willfully withdrawn from treaties, China has fully complied with the ATT in good faith since its official accession to the treaty in 2020, taking concrete actions to provide China solutions to solving the global security predicaments and regulating the international arms trade order. This fully demonstrates China's sincerity and determination to safeguard the global governance system, support multilateralism, and promote the building of a community with a shared future for mankind. The 10th anniversary marks a new starting point. China stands ready to contribute China's wisdom to improving global arms trade governance and provide greater stability and certainty to the turbulent world. Next question, please.
谢谢冯先生。先是记者提问。
RIA Novosti。俄罗斯媒体报道称，中国银行开始向俄罗斯进口商退还已收到货物的货款。在有些情况下，银行在付款后几个月突然退还了货款，到那时货物已经清关并且被收到了。你能对此发表评论吗？
I'm not aware of the specifics of this things you just mentioned. I'd refer you to competent authorities of China.
法新社提问。
AFP. On yesterday, the collision between Philippine and Chinese Coast Guard. The U.S. condemned China's action in the South China Sea yesterday and reiterated its support for the Philippines. What is China's comment on that?
Yesterday, I have already sent information and China's position on Philippines' provocations. China took legitimate countermeasures according to Philippines' infringement, and it is in accordance with the UNCLOS. It's legitimate and reasonable. The United States is not a party to the South China Sea question and has no right to interfere with the South China Sea questions. The Mutual Defense Treaty is a bilateral treaty between the United States and the Philippines, and we urge the United States to not infringe China's sovereignty and rights and interest in the name of this treaty, and stop provocations.
近日，中国媒体报道了。
There are media reports in China recently on the story of an African student who came to China to study advanced agricultural technology and is determined to continue to solving his home country's food problem. Can you comment on that and give us more details about China-Africa practical cooperation, especially agricultural cooperation? Food shortages have long been plaguing African countries. Thanks to strenuous efforts in the past several decades, we have ensured a secure food supply for 1.4 billion Chinese people. Therefore, we feel deeply for African people's hope for their hunger. In recent years, China-Africa agricultural cooperation has flourished, including providing technical assistance and training of agriculture experts, advanced agricultural technology transfer, setting up agricultural parks, and promoting cultivation projects as Juncao, and hybrid rice. Such cooperation filled African people's rice bag and vegetable basket with more varieties and helped to gradually realize agricultural modernization in Africa. Agricultural cooperation is an epitome of how China and Africa help each other. In recent years, thanks to the strategic guidance of Chinese and African leaders, the cooperation between the two sides in various areas has enjoyed all-round development. China has been Africa's largest trading partner for 15 consecutive years and have signed Belt and Road Cooperation documents with 52 African countries and the African Union Commission. China released the initiative on supporting Africa's industrialization, the plan for China supporting Africa's agricultural modernization, and the plan for China-Africa Cooperation on talent development. The two sides expand cooperation to emerging areas such as digital, green, aerospace, and financial cooperation. China-Africa Cooperation has helped Africa achieve socio-economic development and livelihood improvement, and is sincerely welcomed by African countries and people. Facts prove that China is Africa's reliable partner and sincere friend. The 2024 summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation will be held in Beijing next month. We believe the upcoming summit will expand and deepen China-Africa cooperation and write a new chapter of building a China-Africa community with a shared future.
下一个问题。
Next question, please.
法新社提问。
AFP, out of concern for the National Security Act, National Security Law, journalists in Hong Kong rated Hong Kong's freedom of press to a record low. What is China's comment on that?
I can tell you that the national security law of Hong Kong is targeting a handful of criminals that is violating the law, but not the media friends who is abiding by the law. After the national security has come into force of Hong Kong, media friends have the rights of friends of the media in Hong Kong has been protected according to law, and this cannot be denied by any people that has no bias on this matter. Next question, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Do we have any more questions? Okay, that's all of today's press conference. Thank you for attending.